Welcome to this week's podcast. I'm Tim Weigel with the New York State IPM program, Grape and Hops IPM specialist, and also the team leader with the Lake Erie Regional Grape Program. And today I'm going to talk about crop estimation. We're about 34 days past bloom here at Clairol, and we're getting reports of a lot of grapes out there. Not necessarily a lot of bunches, but we're seeing a lot of berries per bunch. So, you know, those of you that know me, you're saying, well, why are you talking about crop estimation? You're not the cultural practices guy, you're the pest management guy. And so, really, I want to talk about crop estimation, and let's not worry about thinning right now. Let's just worry about crop estimating. Let's go out. What I would really encourage you to do with the variability that's out there this year, we're seeing some really large crops, really good fruit set, number of berries per cluster has increased this year. It's very difficult to go out and just walk in your vineyard and lift up the canopy like you used to do in the good old days and say, yep, I got a really good crop there. So from an IPM standpoint, the reason that I would like you to crop estimate is because Wayne Wilcox, who is a professor of plant pathology at the New York State Ag Experiment Station in Geneva, did some work years ago with Concord and found out that the only time powdery mildew, foliar infections of powdery mildew was a problem in Concord was in severe overcrop situations. So if we think about this year, we had bloom here at the lab 6 days later than average, which, you know, we've all heard Dr. Bates here at the lab came up with for every 3 days early, our average bloom from average bloom date, you can ripen an extra ton. Well, that works the same in reverse. So for every 3 days late, you're going to be able to ripen less crop. So we're 6 days late. That could be up to 2 tons an acre off your average. So we're going to probably be in an overcrop situation in some of the blocks out there. So let's get out, do crop estimation, see if you're in an overcrop situation, see how large that overcrop situation is. It might be that you're a little bit above average. You're not going to thin it down to average. You're going to roll the dice, hope you make it. But what that would tell you is that you need to invest in a powdery mildew program later into the season to keep your leaves clean so you don't run into as much of a problem ripening. Now there's going to be some areas that you're probably going to have way too much. There's no way you're going to ripen it, even in a good year. So if you go to LERGP.com, our website, and go into cultural practices, crop estimation, you'll see there's a thinning table there. There's some information on how to use the thinning table, and then Jennifer Russo, our viticulturalist, has come up with a nice little sheet on how to go out and crop estimate. You don't have to have a harvester to crop estimate. She has some instructions there on that sheet of how to go out and do it by hand. So go out, look around. Another thing that we look at from a pest management perspective is the impact on vine size. Having a healthy vine is one of the foundations of a good IPM program, because the weaker the vine, the more it will react to any sort of stress, whether it be from insects or diseases. And so we want to keep our vine size up. By having too much crop there, waiting till, if we do get it ripe, we're ripening it at the end of the season, we're pulling all those carbohydrates into the fruit instead of allowing it to go into the ripening of the buds and into the root system to build our carbohydrate reserves for next year. So vine size is critically important. So go out and look at your blocks, do your crop estimation by block. You want to do it in certain areas. If you do have your NDVI maps as part of the Efficient Vineyard program, you got your NDVI maps done, you can actually break it down and do some sampling in your higher vigor areas, lower vigor areas, and the medium vigor areas to give you an idea. If nothing else, you're going to have a plan of how you're going to attack harvest. You're going to know which vineyards are going to start ripening earlier. You might be able to get in the first week with those, or at least you have some where you know that if this isn't quite making it, you know where you can go and pull some sugar to help get that vineyard in as well. So if you have any questions about crop estimation, please feel free to give any of us here at the lab a call. And if you have any suggestions for future podcasts, please put it in the comment section below.